Good evening and welcome to Match of the Day, in which you'll see the two matches which could decide the First Division Championship. Liverpool leading against Tottenham Hotspur and Ipswich chasing against Nottingham Forest. Plus a final look at all 14 goals in our Goal of the Season competition.
Tonight's headlines: England striker Tony Woodcock will be an Arsenal player next season. In the league, Wolves are relegated, Norwich promoted to Division 1 and Sheffield United 4th Division champions, while in Scotland Celtic win the title for the 33rd time.
There are over 48,000 people at Anfield this afternoon to find and influence, if they could, the answer to the question, could Liverpool beat Tottenham Hotspur and win their 13th league championship? The stage was set for action and drama, and that's how it turned out. Your commentator, John Watson.
Packed house at Anfield. The clock was full at 2 o'clock. And if Liverpool do clinch the championship today, the crowd here will see one of their favourite players join the ranks of the game's immortals. Because Phil Thompson would collect his 6th First Division Championship medal and would be the only man in the 94-year history of the Football League to achieve that figure with one club. But a 6th medal will also go to Ray Kennedy, now with Swansea, who played in 15 Liverpool matches this season and would therefore have won 5 medals with Liverpool and 1 with Arsenal. In contrast, and the atmosphere speaks for itself behind the team there, 6 of these players would be winning their first championship medal. The integration of Grobbelaar, Lawrenson, Whelan, Lee, Rush and substitute Craig Johnston illustrates the decisiveness with which Liverpool turn over players when the time is right. The famous continuity at Anfield is based on that fine area of judgment. For example, Ray Clements, back at Anfield for the first time with Spurs, was missed at first here, but his old club have overcome the loss, while he will be at Wembley next Saturday with his new club for the 2nd time this season, and he gets today a great reception. Spurs, though, are still without 2 of their projected cup final team. Steve Archibald and Tony Galvin are under treatment, so Mark Falco and Gary Brook continue. Manager Keith Birkinshaw is not with the team, and I understand he's watching a player on the continent. And it speaks volumes for the depth of the Liverpool squad that on this day, Terry McDermott of England is the odd man out. He can't even get in the 12. And the referee this afternoon, Trelford Mills of Barnsley. Liverpool kicking off, and Spurs, who've not won here since 1912, know that they need a titanic effort if they're going to break Liverpool's monopoly in this fixture. That was Hansen. Ronnie Whelan with the head. Whistle's gone. Foot was high. Glenn Hoddle acknowledging the fact. Indirect free kick to Liverpool. Taken by Souness to Alan Kennedy. He's gone round Hoddle. Not a bad ball in. Rush got a touch on it. So did Phil Neal. Wasn't sure where it was. And Falco had gone back to help Tottenham. Thompson. Number 11, the captain, Souness. Spurs have come out looking for an offside, and Paul Miller hung back. And didn't have too much option there. Red shirts either side of him. Whelan to Lee. Offside, Whelan. The man whose 2 goals in the Football League Cup final punctured Spurs' first major ambition this season and earned Liverpool a place anyway in Europe next year, which Spurs also now are certain of getting because of their league position. Brook. Lee gets back to win the ball for Liverpool and find Dalglish. Oh, that's terrific stuff. Lawrenson. Rush. Well, he checked to avoid going offside and was just on the wrong foot. But it was a brilliant move, and Dalglish was involved again. So too was Sammy Lee. And again the long ball from Hansen up to Rush. Roberts away. Hansen. Hoddle couldn't cut it out. Here's Whelan. Rush. Kennedy. Whelan. Dalglish! Oh, Clements saved it! But did Dalglish handle it first? I think the ball almost got stuck underneath his body and he jabbed at it. And Clements managed to smother it because there wasn't much power on the ball. Hazard for Spurs. Interception was by Souness. A brisk opening 20 minutes. The balance of play, not surprisingly, with Liverpool, but Spurs so far holding firm. That's Glenn Hoddle, intercepted by Neil. Now Lee. Souness. Dalglish has begun his run. Number 7, leaning into Miller a bit. Oh, what a turn. And he pulled it back for Lawrenson. And Clements kept the ball inside the area. What a fine piece of goalkeeping there. The collision with Rush forced Ray Clements to fall outside the line, but he kept the ball where it mattered. But the turn in the penalty area by Kenny Dalglish was almost worth the admission money on its own. Hoddle. Hazard's got 2 to his left. Here's Houghton. And Sammy Lee dispossessing Hazard. Souness finds Rush. The flag is up on the far side. A good advantage played by referee Mills. Here's Rush. Here's Dalglish. Oh, coming up here is Ronnie Whelan. Straight at the goalkeeper. And Liverpool, having been thwarted by Clements, can thank the referee that the move happened at all. A very good advantage played on the far side where the linesman flagged for a foul and the referee sensed the situation and let play go. Neil. Roberts. Falco. Trying to turn against Thompson. Hazard. Spurs attack obviously lacking the orthodox left-hand side play of Galvin and also the thrust of Archibald. Here's Houghton. Nobody likes to meet Liverpool without their full team. But Houghton's making progress here to Villa. Hoddle. And Hoddle strikes one. Oh, a beautiful goal! Glenn Hoddle puts Spurs in front after 27 minutes. Grobbelaar beaten from way out as he was indeed by Perryman in the first meeting between these two sides only 12 days ago. But Houghton began the move, Hoddle picked the ball up, struck it from distance, and it flew past the keeper. And that's put a very interesting slant on the afternoon now. 2 instructions being shouted out. Liverpool had had nearly all the play. It was the first dangerous Tottenham strike. And on a ground where they haven't won for 70 years, they take the lead. Now, was talk of the championship being settled today premature? We might see now. Souness to Dalglish. Good ball that by Hansen to Lee. And against Roberts, against Lee, and Clements spoiling Whelan. Well, there are 1 or 2 areas in the north of England where Glenn Hoddle isn't appreciated as much as he is in London. But if he comes to Anfield and produces moments like that, it'll silence the doubters. This is Brook. That well from Lawrence, and didn't beat Souness though. Rush down the right for Liverpool. Graham Roberts, the defender. Calls for handball. Free kick to Liverpool, for which Hansen this time has gone forward. Played short for Neil, lifted across, oh, and it was Lawrenson who came in behind Dalglish, and I don't think Dalglish heard him. Certainly the two players appear to get in each other's way a little, and Tottenham can be thankful for that. Oof. Perryman on Dalglish. And the referee said, not intentional. Perryman applauded the fact that no free kick was given. So, Glenn Hoddle puts a spanner in the Anfield works with a spectacular individual goal and puts Tottenham into the lead at half-time and reminds everybody in this packed ground that the championship isn't over and it could fall to Ray Clements to stand now between Liverpool and their target. He left here last summer and could hardly have expected to be put in such an ironic situation on his first return to the ground where he played for so long. Half-time, Liverpool 0, Spurs 1. And a fantastic reception from the Kop for Ray Clements at the beginning of the second half. And he responds. Ray, who played, I recall, for England against Brazil last year, when a tremendous swerving shot from Eder of Brazil hit the bar, and they called it the greatest swerve ever seen on a shot. But what about the swerve on Hoddles, I wonder, this afternoon by comparison? So at this stage of the afternoon, the league championship still very much in abeyance. And I wonder whether Tottenham have chosen this of all days to end that barren 70 years without a win at Anfield. On by Falco, and away by Kennedy in a bit of a hurry. Brook. Falco is up, and he got the better of Hansen there. Mark Falco. Rush. Thompson. Dalglish wants it played through. There he goes. The header down came to Whelan. His pass was not a good one. He should have found Rush really there. Here's Kennedy. And Lawrenson. And here's Rush. And here's Whelan! Kennedy joining the attack to good effect. Ronnie Whelan's shot away from the far post. The long ball from Kennedy, looking for Lee. And it came off Chris Hughton for a corner. In comes Lawrenson! 52 minutes gone, and Mark Lawrenson equalises. Sonny Lee took the corner, it was deep. Lawrenson got the header on, coming in from deep, and it was buried deep in the back of Ray Clement's net. And Liverpool, once again, never more dangerous than when they're behind. Clement's beaten, and the score's level. Well, what a match we've got now. Brooks for Spurs. Villiers. Foul by Whelan, was it? Yes, surely. Must be a foul by Ronnie Whelan. Must be pulled back. Well, the clock now are in full voice. Brooks for Spurs. Hazard. Falco. Just behind him, Gary Brook, number 7. Oh, it's well played by Phil Thompson. And Lee, no, it's out. And the crowd in the Kop, possibly aware on their radios that Nottingham Forest have scored at Ipswich, and suddenly, in a matter of a few minutes, the whole afternoon changes in complexion. Neil. Souness. Lee. Dalglish. Beat up there. Oh, Dalglish is through. Kenny Dalglish. Clements had no chance at all. And is that the goal which clinches the First Division title? Kenny Dalglish, the scorer. It might have looked easy, but how cool he kept when he found himself with only the goalkeeper to beat. He checked, waited a moment, and slipped the ball in. 55 minutes gone, 2 goals in 4 minutes. Liverpool were behind, and now they're in front. What pace this afternoon has suddenly turned, as if anybody should ever bet against Liverpool. It was Gary Brook now for Spurs. Thompson's tackle. It was a bit of a ricochet, the way the ball came through to Dalglish there. Spurs were rather unlucky in that respect. But sometimes you make your own luck. Here's Crooks. And they're up to their 13th title now. And Dalglish, who played his 200th match for Liverpool at Arsenal on Tuesday night, has now scored 78 goals for the club. And perhaps that was one of the most valuable. Hansen. And there goes Rush. Whelan. Lee! Just didn't keep his composure when he struck it. Hoddle got caught one there by Lawrenson. Dalglish's touch to Whelan, that was superb. Dalglish is back in. Clement saw it. Terrific move again, though. Steve Perryman moving forward on the right for Spurs. Hazard. Falco is the player he's aiming for. And the clearance was by Hansen. Corner to Spurs. Hoddle. And Grobbelaar coming for a ball which looked to be Falco's for a moment. He was unmarked. Brook. Spurs reminding Liverpool that this is still a match. Hoddle. Oh, and Alan Kennedy read it. He's just waiting for the ball to go for Lee, but handball by Gary Brook. Free kick to Liverpool. "20 minutes gone in the second half. Liverpool 2, Tottenham 1. Whelan, Rush. Nicely done by Ian Rush. And Souness wanted the ball played the extra yard and didn't get it. Dalglish. Lee might, though. Sammy Lee. Ah, he tried to chip Ray Clements. Didn't get enough height on the ball. Neil. Lee. Dalglish. And again. And still they come in a great red tide. Rush to Lawrenson. Offside Whelan. Paul Price getting ready there, the Spurs substitute. Here's Glenn Hoddle, and there goes Villiers. Crooks is in the centre, Villiers shot. And the substitution will now be made. Paul Price, the Welsh captain, to come on, and Garth Crooks, who seems to have had a strain, coming off. Price. Lee goes in with Houghton. Now Hazard. Spilling it wide to Gary Brook. Lawrenson is knocking him slightly. Here comes Perryman for Spurs. In the way, Kennedy. Villiers. And again. Perryman still charging on down that right-hand side. It's Hansen who wants it to run. Well, these championships have been piling up these last few years. 1964 was the first one for the modern Liverpool under Bill Shankly. But it looks like 5 now in the last 7 seasons under Bob Paisley. Miller's header, it's going to come to Whelan, and Whelan makes it 3-1. And that is the championship now, with Ronnie Whelan's 14th goal of the season. 2 minutes from the end, and Ray Clements again had no chance at all. Spurs were wide open, tiredness told. Whelan got through, and he had time to hammer it with his left foot. Clinch without any doubt whatsoever Liverpool Football Club's 13th First Division title in his, Ronnie Whelan's, first full season in the side. Hoddle for Spurs. Lee. And he's offside, Kenny Dalglish. Well, the emerging star of the season, as Ray Kennedy left for Swansea, was Ronnie Whelan. He turned the League Cup final against Tottenham Liverpool's way, and he appears to have had the final say this afternoon. Houghton for Spurs. That's Grobbelaar's. And Bob Paisley can afford to relax now. And there it is. Championship number 13. And 5 in the last 7 seasons. Kenny Dalglish scoring the goal that put Liverpool in front after they'd been behind. Ronnie Whelan made sure just before the end with the 3rd goal. And what the crowd don't know is that the League Championship trophy was here all the time undercover, just in case it was settled today. So John Smith, a proud man, wearing his Football League hat, but presenting the Football League Championship trophy to his own Liverpool captain, Graham Souness. And now, the Liverpool players can give vent to their feelings. Joyful scenes which underline that Liverpool are not just champions again, they're back in the European Cup. And their 13th championship, a total absolutely unrivaled by any other club. The next best is 8 by Arsenal. Champions, deservedly so, since the turn of the year, 120, drawn 2 and lost 2. The rest of the First Division can only marvel at their consistency.
So Liverpool do it again. Now congratulations to them on winning their 13th League Championship. As a matter of interest, here's the top 10 in the table of League Championship winners. Liverpool way out in front with 13, Arsenal 8 times, Aston Villa, Everton and Manchester United all 7, Sunderland 6, Newcastle and Sheffield Wednesday 4 and Huddersfield Town and Wolves 3. So you can see it's some achievement, and we'll be talking to Bob Paisley and Bobby Robson after seeing the next match between Ipswich and Nottingham Forest. You'll realise there's no way in which we could disguise Liverpool's success and play the game with those of you who like to avoid knowing the score. But here comes a pretty competitive game with a goal or two at least to enjoy. Your commentator is Barry Davis.
Ipswich Town reached the last Saturday of the football season, once more cast in the role of bridesmaids, hoping against hope that someone will send them a bouquet from Anfield. But at least they've kept the party going to the finish, although their lineup this afternoon, as usual, is missing key names. And it shows that Kevin O'Callaghan is included up front with Steve McCall at left back. And if you add up the number of matches missed by Franz Tyson, Terry Butcher and Paul Mariner during the course of the season, and that goes right the way through the team, it comes to more than a season and a half of fixtures. Nottingham Forest this afternoon really here to make the numbers up at the end of a rather disappointing season for them, finishing in mid-table. But the feelings will be rather different for one of that number, wearing number 9, Steve Hodge, who at 19 years old makes his league debut at Portman Road. Brian Clough, now a solitary figure, football's most famous marriage of ideas, having come to an end with Peter Taylor deciding to retire after they've been together for 15 years with just one little break. The referee is Ken Salmon of Barnet. And it's going to be warm for him as well as for the players. It's Bowyer for Nottingham Forest, Ipswich wearing the white shorts. First half touch at least for Steve Hodge, who's partnered by Peter Davenport, who played his first game only a couple of weeks ago at Anfield. They are in the team, Messrs Wallace and Fashanu, who each cost £1 million and more, are out of the side. Davenport scored his first goal against Tottenham in midweek. O'Callaghan. Mariner. Mills. Murin. Battling by Hodge. Murin seemingly unaware of his presence behind him. Mills. And the free kick given against Stuart Gray. Nice turn by Mariner. Brazil! Oh, he made it look so easy. Plenty of power in the header. It was a nice move by Ipswich. And Shilton took it without a care in the world. Davenport. Henderson in the front player role. And still. Now, can they exploit the gap that is on the right? Only a back line of 3 at the moment. O'Callaghan. Oh yes, he's gone all the way! And it came off Willie Young. Shilton had to come and meet the foe. And the ball rebounding off the shin of Willie Young after a really good run by Kevin O'Callaghan, which brings applause from all around the ground and from several of his colleagues. Again, Shilton made it look so easy. Front line of 3, one of them being Mills. Gunn, resolute once more. And the referee felt that Walk left the foot there. Anderson. McGovern. Nobody left. Now Gray pulled back. Davenport. Hodge. And it was deflected, and he did very well to recover his ground. Hodge, for a moment, thought he was going to mark his debut with a goal, albeit an in-off. But in a way, the fact that Laurie Civil is a little man was much to his benefit then, because he really scampered across. Röber. Head down and off goes Anderson. Brazil with him. Nicely done by the England player. McGovern. Never saw it all the way, but the move much inspired by Anderson. And the end of a pretty frustrating half for Ipswich Town and their supporters. Just one header from Brazil and one lovely run by Kevin O'Callaghan, but not looking with the urgency that is required of title chasers. Only once in the last decade have Ipswich Town been out of the top 6 in the First Division, and that was the year they had the considerable compensation of winning the FA Cup. They've been so near, but they haven't been able to grasp the title. Hodge. Civil is out of his goal, and there's Röber! And it was pushed onto a post, I think. No, it wasn't. It came off the post. Well, the goal kick has been given. Civil flying across his goal, but it was the post that saved him and his team. McCall. little under 20,000. Still wait for something really positive to cheer. Here is Mariner. And Shilton felt that Mariner climbed up him. The free kick has been given. So view from camera on a hoist behind Peter Shilton's goal. Burley, Robertson, Bowyer, Davenport. It's a good turn if he can get the shot in now. And it's going in! But he never really made a shot worthy of the word. But he carried on after a really fine turn to devastate Bobby Robson, to delight the supporters who've travelled down from Nottingham, and to score his second goal in a week. Best part of it was the turn. After that, it ran a little kindly for him. But Ipswich Town now have a real fight on their hands. The champions of not so long ago, 1978, proving more of a problem than was anticipated. Two against two. Hodge looking for support from behind. It's nicely done. It was kept in. And Hodge allowed to go by Murin. There's a real chance here for a second. Good play by Sybil. Davenport holds his head in his hands, but young Steve Hodge started that. Nice ball down the line by Robertson, and it could so easily have ended with a second goal. Once again, Ipswich would have contributed to their own failings. Down by Butcher. Brazil. And it's all quite keen. I think thought he'd been fouled at the start of that. He went off in search, and Brian Clough it was who got out of his seat. McCall. McGovern. Anderson. Davenport making a run on the far side. Hodge in the middle. Anderson going all the way and was nudged from behind, and the referee gives nothing. And that's another escape for Ipswich, in my opinion. Anderson was not looking truly balanced as he ran into the box. I had a feeling that he was helped a bit on his way. Grabber. Reber. Anderson. Reber. And here's Davenport again. Oh, I say, what a good finish. And that surely is the end of Ipswich Town's outside chance of winning the title. Just look at the faces of Ipswich Town players. It's gone now. And they really have not been on their game at any stage this afternoon. They looked totally lost, and the score reflects that. Really good goal, but finished with some aplomb. foul by Walk. Just chest into Robertson's back. And Peter Davenport, having scored his first league goal in his 4th league game, now has a chance of a hat-trick in only his 5th senior appearance. Robertson. McGovern. Now Brazil. This is a real chance. Shilton to meet him. It's 2-1. Well, the goalkeeper did all he could. Alan Brazil showing the sort of finishing which has marked his season. And that is goal number 27 for him. And it lifts the sagging hearts of Portman Road. Free kick. I must say, after a pretty barren first half, it's a very unlikely score. Here for O'Callaghan, and still, and the corner is the final verdict, and rightly. There was no way there was a penalty there. Out by Young, but the possibility of an equaliser from Ipswich is increasing. Or what have I said? Here's Hodge. Davenport far side, not actually marked at the moment, and he scores! That is unbelievable marking by Ipswich Town. And the youngster gets his hat-trick, and Ipswich must be kicking themselves, and their manager for sure will kick them. That really was unreal from a side with pretensions of being league champions. They mark like schoolboys, and poor schoolboys at that. So 3-1 to Nottingham Forest. Position of promise. Once again, there is one of despair. Here's Anderson. Rover. Offside. So Davenport, 4 goals in 2 matches and a hat-trick in only his 5th game of league football. And Nottingham Forest to bring off young Steve Hodge. And he's replaced by Mark Proctor and carried off the field by Brian Clough. Doing the fatherly job. Osman and Butcher making their ways forward in search of further consolation. O'Callaghan. Mariner out by Young. Referee with watch in hand, whistle in mouth. And Bobby Robson's face as he joins with Brian Clough. Really says it all. He's the hero of the hour. Peter Davenport, who was an amateur on the books of Everton, and whatever the result there, his hat-trick ended the hopes of Bobby Robson and his team. He will be the most dejected. because his players on the afternoon gave a thoroughly disappointing performance. Brazil gave them hope, but they fell away after that. The third goal being the result of some really appalling marking. And so for Ipswich, the party's over, and I wonder whether Bobby Robson will call it a day here.
Well, Ipswich supporters must have been very disappointed with that loss, but I think their team were unlucky to meet a revitalised Forest with fresh impetus following the breakup of the Taylor-Clough partnership. Their attitude was very determined, and once they'd taken the sting out of the Ipswich attack, they demonstrated their own capabilities with young Davenport, a Liverpool lad incidentally, in a starring role. Brian Clough must be ruefully reflecting that strength often can come from within rather than from without. Well, that seems to be the case at Liverpool, and although Bob Paisley and Bobby Robson were nearly 250 miles apart by one of those television miracles which I don't understand, we were able to join them on one screen, and I asked Bob Paisley just how do Liverpool do it?
Well, it's a say, we say we do the simple things right through the club, from the football and the financial side. We've got the people that can do that, and I'm not presented with any financial problems. I'm told what I can spend or what I want. I tell them what I would like, and if it's unobtainable at the price, then we just got to forego it and that. And the whole setup is as simple as that. You know, we talk about the simple things, and it's these simple things that people seem to ignore.
Well, you don't ignore them, certainly, Bob. If I can turn to Bobby Robson, because you're always so modest about your achievements at Liverpool. Bobby, commiserations, but at the same time, congratulations, because there's no disgrace in Ipswich being second. But what do you see as Liverpool's strengths?
Well, administratively, Jimmy, they obviously must be the most well-drilled and most efficient and well-organised club that there is in this country. They obviously have undoubtedly a marvellous scouting system, because their long-term and short-term acquisition of players always seems to be right. Their playing resources are the best in the country because they have the best players. There isn't any question about that. The best team, Jim, always wins the league. And Liverpool have won the league with the best players, of that I'm sure. We ran them a very close second, but their depth of pool of player is perhaps a little bit better and stronger and longer than ours. And at the end of the day, that maybe has just clinched it, because that's the difference with 6 points, and that's what we lost the league about.
Have you got a chance next year? Have you got an idea of how to make up that 6 points, or have you given up hope of ever catching them?
Oh, no, you never give up hope, Jim, as you know. Otherwise, the game is dead and buried. No, you have to remain optimistic. Our younger players have had some experience this year. That will stand them in good stead. Our squad system is better for next year, and I think we'll be neck and neck again. It's gone to the second last match of the season, Jim, hasn't it, the Championship, and that's not bad box office. I wish the results could have gone reversed today to make it, you know, for it to have gone for the very last match of the season. But nevertheless, we've given them a good run, and I'm sure that we can, and Manchester United will be close next year with one or two others, and I think next year it will be another marvellous season for football, and I've got a lot of optimism for the game, Jim.
Bob, thank you very much indeed. Would you like to say a final well done to Bob Paisley and vice versa to round it off with a big smile?
Yes, I would. Many congratulations, Bob. You have been the most consistent team in the country. Here at Ipswich, we are full of admiration for all of you, and our best wishes for a nice summer and a nice summer's rest, and we look forward to seeing you next season.
Thank you very much indeed, Bobby, and the same to you, and I hope we can go neck and neck at it next year.
Well, there's confirmation of Liverpool as champions yet again. All 7 of those teams could be playing in Europe next season, depending on whether Spurs win the FA Cup and Swansea the Welsh Cup. If Arsenal make it to the UEFA Cup, they will not only have Yugoslav World Cup captain Vladimir Petrovic in their side, but also England striker Tony Woodcock, who's agreed to join them from Cologne. A real boost for Arsenal, that, with Woodcock resisting several other offers, including one from Spanish giants Real Madrid. Tonight, Arsenal manager Terry Neal was hopeful that all the details of the deal would be finalised in the next 2 or 3 weeks. Back to the tables, and a sad day for once mighty Wolves, relegated from Division 1 despite beating West Ham this afternoon. In fact, there was a remarkable run of results among the clubs fighting against relegation. 6 of the bottom 7 all won, the exception being Stoke, who lost at Manchester United to drop into the last three. Stoke's last game is at home to West Bromwich Albion on Thursday, 2 days after Albion play Leeds at the Hawthorns. In the second division, Norwich lost in the last minute at Sheffield Wednesday, but still go up with Luton and Watford. That was made certain when Leicester could only draw at home to Shrewsbury. At the bottom, Wrexham go down with Orient despite winning today. The other relegation place is between Bolton and Cardiff, whose last game is at home to champions Luton on Monday. In Division 3, it's a case of any two from three to join Burnley, who won promotion last night. Both Fulham and Lincoln won today, and they now meet at Craven Cottage on Tuesday, while Carlisle, surprisingly beaten 2-1 at home by Bristol Rovers today, play their final game on Wednesday away to already relegated Chester. This is how the fourth division ended, with Sheffield United making sure of the championship with a 2-0 win at Darlington. Bradford City pipped Wigan for second place on goal difference. Pools, and you need to check those coupons carefully tonight. There could be a big payout with 6 score draws and 3 no-score draws on the coupons. Telegram claims are requested for 21.5 and 22 points, and the dividend forecast is very good. The score draw numbers 12, 17, 33, 34, 47 and 48. The no-score draws 16, 31 and 44.
Well, now it's make up your mind time for our Goal of the Season competition. First, to look at the goals from which you should select your favourite 3, and afterwards I'll tell you how to enter. And the first goal is goal A, scored by Mark Falco for Tottenham Hotspur against Aston Villa.
Ardiles, Falco. Good play! Oh, what a great goal by Mark Falco!
Cherry's with him.
Oh, what a sidestep. What a shot and what a goal.
Rhoda for Rangers. Oh, what a good piece of skill. And he's still going. Number 6, Rhoda. Walk leaving it for O'Callaghan. Beating Hibbett. Beating Palmer. Oh, I say, what a finish! Archibald.
Oh, good try! And what a lovely goal!
Came for it is White. It's White with a chance, and he scored.
Butterworth, even then, was prepared to play the right ball, not just hoop it anywhere. This is Bodak. Would he go in on goal? Oh, he tried the most delightful trip.
Hazard, who's looked bright and lively since he came on. Has he done enough? Galvin surely nods it back for Crooks. What a terrific goal by Tottenham.
Via to Perryman. They're queuing in the middle. Crooks! Oh, what a header! That was an absolute bullet.
Regis taking it well on the chest, and a lovely piece of control by Regis. Oh, and what a great shot! Oh, one of the goals of the season. Cyril Regis.
Archibald. Little flick for Hazard. Hoddle moving up on the right. Hoddle shot. Oh! What a goal! Morley.
Lee. Oh, what a goal!
Stanley. Oh, clearly hits, and a beauty. An absolute beauty.
Well, you'll get one more chance to see those goals in Sports Night on Wednesday next, if you're still undecided. You'll also see highlights of the UEFA Cup final between Hamburg and Gothenburg. That's at 9:50 on Wednesday. Meantime, here's a checklist on those goals. Goal A, Mark Falco. B, Alan Curtis. C, Clive Allen. D, Kevin O'Callaghan. E, Steve Archibald. F, Chris White. G, Peter Bodak. H, Garth Crooks. I, also Garth Crooks. J, Cyril Regis. K, Glenn Hoddle. L, Tony Morley. M, Sammy Lee. And N, Gary Stanley. And if you have made up your mind, here's how to enter. You put your name and address on the left-hand side of a postcard, please, and your goal selections in 1, 2, 3 order on the right-hand side. And address the postcard to Goal of the Season, BBC Television, London, W12 8QT. That's Goal of the Season, BBC Television, London, W12 8QT. And the prize for the first postcard drawn out of the sack that coincides with the choice of our panel, which includes Ron Greenwood, Bobby Charlton, Laurie McMenemy, Bob and myself, is £300 worth of premium bonds. And the result will be announced in Cup Final Grandstand next Saturday. And that Cup Final Grandstand begins at 11:30, and it will contain a special edition of Question of Sport, the decider with the teams 6-all at the moment. And John Motson will be doing the match commentary. Laurie McMenemy and myself will no doubt get a word or two in. Bob Wilson will be having his annual conversations with the players on the pitch. And you can telephone David Coleman, who introduces the programme, to request some of the great sporting moments from the BBC's extensive library. And I've no doubt there will be more than one request from Liverpool to see the magic scenes from Anfield this afternoon celebrating their 13th League Championships, even though those memories will only be a few days old. Good night.